Good evening, everyone. I'm Priya Sheth, and you're with me on the Daily Dispatch. Now, today's rundown is rich with stories on acquisitions as well as fundraisers, and topping the charts today is Global Bees, Policy Bazaar, as well as Esper. Well, headline number one, D2C brand GlobalBees has acquired femtech firm Anme, and this acquisition comes within a month of acquiring the Better Home. Now, the founders and the 15-member team from Anme will be joining GlobalBees to further strengthen its product portfolio and reach more women communities in India as well as globally. Well, headline number two report suggests that Policy Bazaar, which is headed for an IPO, has received fresh funds worth 99.9 crore rupees from its parent company, PB Fintech. Now, earlier this year, Policy Bazaar registered itself as a direct insurance broker under the Insurance Brokers Regulations, and this allows the startup to foray into different business segments. And finally, it's raining funds, and DevOps platform Esper has raised $60 million in a Series C funding round led by Insight Partners. This investment brings the total funding raised by Esper to $100 million. Now, Esper is known to have developed the first DevOps platform for intelligent edge devices.
Well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me someone who has been running a very interesting hospitality chain, Tribo Hotels. Thank you very much, Siddharth Gupta, for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. I want to begin by asking you a little bit about the whole hospitality space. You know, the last couple of months have been really rough, specifically for the travel and hospitality space. But do you think things are bouncing back, and how soon can we see a full recovery?
Thank you for having me, Priya. Indeed, travel has been one of the sectors which has probably been bruised and battered most heavily by COVID. But looks like all of that is behind us, and we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel now. We have ourselves seen a steep recovery in the last few months. I think gradually, as the fears of a potential third wave abate, people are now able to venture out with confidence. Of course, leisure travel continues to dominate this pattern. Even in the business cities, in the metro cities, people are opting for staycations. People are heading out over the weekends to just break the monotony of being in their homes. So the use case is very much leisure related. We have seen our booking values grow by literally 10x in the last 6 months. And that's kind of a very promising trend. My expectation is that over the next 6 to 9 months, if indeed a third wave, which everyone's been fearing, stays away, we should be able to see nearly a full recovery in this sector over the next 6 to 9 months.
Tell us a little bit about the fundraise of $16 million that you all recently did. What are those funds going to be utilized for? And will you be eyeing another fundraise, considering that a lot of properties and hotels have started, sort of revamping their facilities, expanding and getting back to normal?
Yeah, we raised the 16 million round led by Accor, which is one of the world's largest hospitality groups. Obviously, that capital in times like these was critical for us. It gives us the staying power to weather the storm. And really, a significant part of that capital is being used already to indeed support the losses that we are still incurring, because we are still not in the full recovery mode, right? And at the same time, we are growing in terms of expanding our supply. That's one. The second use for which we are deploying this capital is to build and grow our Hotel Superhero business, which is our new SaaS vertical, which is actually something that we started during the pandemic itself, where we are essentially now offering all of the technology that so far was being used for our own hotels business as a SaaS solution to other hospitality companies as well. We call it Hotel Superhero. That business is in its very early stages right now. We are investing a lot in product development. We are hiring people. We're building that team aggressively. And of course, we got a huge impetus for that business with Accor also signing up as a client for that technology. And we're already now deploying that technology at various properties. So that's the other area where part of this fundraise will be used. And finally, now as things start to get better and we are emerging from the shadows of the pandemic, We also intend to reinvest in our sales and marketing functions. We've obviously shied away from doing that over the last year and a half or so, but we do intend to start talking about the brand and become again front and center in people's minds, so that as they start to think about travel, they think about us. In terms of future fundraisers, I think that's definitely on the cards. As I said, the Hotel Superhero business is in a very young stage right now, and we do intend to invest behind it to kind of take it to its full potential.
Right, interesting perspective out there. In terms of expansion, what kind of expansion do you have? Any number that you can put to it in terms of which cities and how many properties?
See, we are already present in close to 100 cities. So in terms of the width of our presence, we are already covering most major travel destinations in the country. We are currently at a scale of about 500 properties. There has been a reduction in the scale, of course, due to COVID, which we are now kind of rebuilding. I anticipate that next year we will be doubling the supply. This 500 will go to 1,000 properties in about 12 months from now. So over the next 1 year or so, we will look to double the scale. In terms of our footprint, I would expect these 100 cities to grow somewhat to reach more like 120, 130 cities. But really the bulk of the expansion will come from us deepening our presence in the existing cities itself. We have been equally excited and aggressive about both leisure and business cities, and that will continue to play out. So yes, we will deepen our presence mostly and add a handful of cities more.
Right, in terms of international presence, what is the plan there? Any significant inroads out there?
So, interestingly, again, I'll keep talking about both parts of our businesses separately. Hotel Superhero is already an international business. So we already have properties outside India, which are using Hotel Superhero as their core hotel management software. And that business is meant to be, by its very nature as a SaaS business, it is meant to be an international business from day one. As far as the Treebo business is concerned, we do have international ambitions. The business model is very much applicable in a wide set of other countries as well, which have similar dynamics in terms of fragmented, unorganized supply and emerging middle class. So in most developing countries, our model sees applicability. Our plan is that once we have seen full recovery in India and we have gotten to profitability, which we expect will happen by around June next year. So by June 2022, we expect to be EBITDA profitable with the full recovery that we are expecting. Soon after that, we will start planning our international expansion. So my sense is that somewhere in the next 2 to 3 year horizon, you will see Treebo going international.
All right. A final question as far as how revenue will pan out going forward. What kind of revenue targets do you have at the end of FY22? And where do you see growth coming in from in the short to medium term?
See, we are very excited about the growth potential that India itself offers. Even though I mentioned about our international expansion, India will continue to be a big focus area for us. We are currently at 500 properties. We expect this scale itself to multiply to about 3,500 properties or so. And at that scale, we will be doing, annual booking volumes of about 3,000 to 3,500 crores a year, which would translate into, revenues of about 600 to 700 crores for us, because we take about, 18 to 20% of the overall booking value for us annually. So that's kind of the potential we see in the India market. Which we think we will be able to kind of capture over the next 3 to 4 years. So yeah, I do see India as the primary source of growth for us, with a lot of headroom left in the hotel market here itself.
All right. On that note, thank you very much for joining us on the Daily Dispatch. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, time now to say goodbye. Many thanks for joining us on this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll catch you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and have a lovely day.